Hey everyone, my name's Alan from alanjfuller.com, and this could be on YouTube as well. I do hear that some of my ideas are similar to what is discussed in Free, The Future of Radical Price by Chris Anderson. Sorry about that. I actually haven't read that book yet. I am soon. My roommate owns a copy, and I'm definitely going to have to check that out. So I've been watching the Facebook thing, and I did start using Facebook within about a month of it starting at Virginia Tech, the college that I attended. So I've been on for a long time. I've seen the changes. I've seen it go from a college-only system and only in a few schools to the open system it is today with all the privacy concerns that comes with that. And I'm starting to see what I'm kind of just going to describe as the internet economy. And what I mean by that is basically the ecosystem that I see forming around the internet, social media, and individuals. And looking at the networks I'm a part of, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Flickr, LinkedIn, on and on and on. I try out most of the ones that I come across that become fairly mainstream. What I've found to be the exchange that I make as a user is that I give a small piece of myself to that network in exchange for access to that network and the broadcast ability that network provides me. So for Flickr, for example, I'm a photographer, and so I give a piece of myself, that photography, to Flickr in exchange for the ability to have that content be viewed, have my name be attached to my photos, let me distribute photos easily, and potentially be found in search queries that relate to the photos that I've taken. So that's the exchange that I've made. They have access. They've lowered the threshold of entry for someone like me who isn't a well-known photographer to get my work out there to some people that could either find it simply enjoyable to people that might want to pay me for my services. Twitter is similar. I knew what I was getting into when I joined. It's a completely public, 140 character limit series of posts, little insights into what I'm up to, my life, articles that I find, and I take that and I'm giving that piece of myself to them in exchange for the ability to share and connect with people that I wouldn't otherwise meet. In fact, Twitter specifically, most of the money that I've made since leaving my day job has come directly or indirectly through Twitter connections. So I definitely love Twitter. And I see that happening in every network that I'm a part of. A piece of me, something that is what makes me me, that fits the demographic that particular network is going towards, I give them in exchange for the access to the community and the world as a whole. And the reason these websites do this, the other part of the economy that I'm seeing, is that they get more views on their site because I go there. The fact that me and the hundreds, thousands, millions of other people that give a little piece of themselves to this website populate the website without much work from the owners besides maintaining, providing new features, things like that. So they don't have to come up with the content, I provide it, we all provide it to them. And as a result, they get more views, they get higher search ranks in Google. People come more often because it's an account that they own, so now they're invested in a community, so they come more often. And that brings the attention of advertisers. And because we each have a profile in each of these different media sites, they're able to target these ads either moderately specifically in the case of Twitter or Flickr, or highly focused like they do in Facebook, because we give so much of ourselves to Facebook. The average user puts in almost every field, and most of our digital lives can be found on Facebook. And that's true of me as well to a certain extent. So we have this economy going where I expect free. I expect that I'm giving, like, my payment for the use of these services is the piece of myself. And the reason that these sites do that is because they're able to get the revenue through partnerships. I think Flickr is mostly a partnership-based engine. And also, I do pay for a pro account with Flickr, so that's a little bit different situation. Facebook is almost completely ad-driven, as are many of the other sites. So that's the exchange. I give them content because I get to distribute it. They distribute it for me. to people I wouldn't normally get to access, and they in turn get to advertise to me and other people that go to see my content. And I think that's really interesting because, again, I expect free now. I know there are a lot of websites where I can go and list myself, my blog, any businesses I may have now or in the future, to get links in and to get mentions and to get in front of viewers, but that just seems weird to me because I should get that for free is my expectation now. I'm giving myself, I'm telling you about my business, I'm telling you about myself, I'm exposing a piece of myself to your audience. And yes, it benefits me, but it also benefits you because you have content for that network. And so it's just a really interesting thing, seeing that expectation forming within myself and within others that I talk to about this, that we expect free. And I think that's where the parallels between this view and the book I mentioned earlier come, is that advertising is expected to be the way you pay for your bills, or maybe some sort of pro account or something, but the basic access is supposed to be just given to me. And I think that's really where Facebook, that the breakdown on the Facebook privacy settings really starts to make sense. Where with Twitter and Flickr and LinkedIn, what I agreed to when I created my account, the piece of myself that I offered up, and the exchange that happened was understood. I know that I'm going to get ads on Twitter eventually. I know that there are partnerships and ads that happen on Flickr. I know there's the same thing with LinkedIn. LinkedIn, I think primarily they sell the access to the information to search and find potential partners and employees, but there's also advertising revenue in there as well. And Facebook started very closed, and I think the Harvard Business Journal mentioned this. I'll have the actual link to this in the post or on the video as well. They mentioned the changing of the primary people using the service are growing, and we're evolving. And when we started out as high schoolers or college students, we were very open with all of our information. We didn't care. We wanted to share almost everything with all of our friends, and that's what Facebook offered, a closed site just for people like us to share everything. And now, as we're getting older, we're getting jobs, and we're seeing those photos from college come back to haunt us. Not me personally, but in general, that's sort of what's happening. We're seeing that those people that we've kind of lost contact with and don't really want to talk to anymore still have access. We're seeing that random people, which is the scarier thing, that I've never met could find out a lot about me because we've given so much of ourselves. But the last thing I wanted to talk about, sorry for the jump there, I lost my train of thought, is the pieces of myself. I keep mentioning that, and that's the way I really view it, is that I'm giving a piece of myself to this network. And I think that's really going to be a big hurdle for a lot of these networks to jump through when they're trying to monetize, is that I don't see it as content. I don't see it as a picture or a blog post or a social connection or a friendship. I don't see it as a piece of information that I'm trading, or a piece of paper, or a dollar. I don't see it as that. I see it as a piece of myself. It's an extremely personal thing. And so when they change these rules, or when they start to give this information to people that I'm not expecting it to be given to, I start to be upset. I start to feel betrayed, because much like if I tell a friend a secret or tell a friend something about myself that I haven't made public knowledge, if they tell someone else, that's insulting, that is hurtful, and it divides the trust. And I think that's exactly what each of these social networks is going to have to be really careful with going forward, is that expectation of free, and that fact that it's such a personal thing, or at least it's viewed that way by the users, but not as much by the businesses. So that's kind of the thoughts that I've been going through my head. It is a little rough right now, but I think there's some really interesting aspects to this that I really do think are real and happening in our current society. So I'd really like to know what you think. Comment on the post if you're on my blog or in YouTube. I'd love to hear if you think I'm off, if you think that I have hit the nail on the head. If you have something to add, I'd love to hear it. You can also, there's a contact form on my website, and in YouTube you can message me. So please let me know. I really would like to hear if I'm alone on this, or if you think I've hit the nail on the head. Thanks guys for watching, and I hope you have a great day.